Lynn Fontanne was a British-born American-based actress and major stage star in the United States for over 40 years. She teamed with her husband, Alfred Lunt. Lunt and Fontanne shared a special Tony Award in 1970. They both won Emmy Awards in 1965, and Broadway's Lunt-Fontanne Theatre was named for them. Fontanne is regarded as one of the American theatre's great leading ladies of the 20th century. Early life. Born Lily Louise Fontanne in Woodford, London, of French and Irish descent, her parents were Jules Fontanne, a Frenchman, and Frances Ellen Thornley. She had two sisters, one of whom later lived in England, the other lived in New Zealand. Career. She drew acclaim in 1921 playing the title role in the George S. Kaufman Mark Connolly farce, Dulcie. Dorothy Parker memorialized her performance in verse. She soon became celebrated for her skill as an actress in high comedy, excelling in witty roles written for her by Noel Coward, S.N. Behrman, and Robert Sherwood. However, she enjoyed one of the greatest critical successes of her career as Nina Leeds, the desperate heroine of Eugene O'Neill's controversial 9-act drama Strange Interlude. From the late 1920s on, Fontanne acted exclusively in vehicles also starring her husband. Among their greatest theatre triumphs were Design for Living, The Taming of the Shrew, Idiot's Delight, There Shall Be No Night and Quadrille. Design for Living, which Noel Coward wrote expressly for himself and the Lunts, was so risque, with its theme of bisexuality and a ménage à trois, that Coward premiered it in New York, knowing it would not survive the censor in London. The duo remained active on stage until retiring from stage performances in 1958. Fontanne was nominated for a Tony Award for one of her last stage roles, in The Visit. Fontanne and Lunt worked together in 27 productions. Of her acting style with Lunt, British broadcasting personality Arthur Marshall, having seen her in Caprice St James's Theatre, observed, "In the plays of the period, actors waited to speak until somebody else had finished. The Lunts turned all that upside down. They threw away lines, they trod on each other's words, they gabbled, they spoke at the same time. They spoke, in fact, as people do in ordinary life." Fontanne made only 4 films but nevertheless was nominated for the Academy Award for Best Actress in 1931 for The Guardsman, losing to Helen Hayes. She also appeared in the silent films Second Youth and The Man Who Found Himself. She and husband Alfred also were in Hollywood Canteen, in which they had cameos as themselves. The Lunts starred in 4 television productions in the 1950s and 1960s, with both Lunt and Fontanne winning Emmy Awards in 1965 for The Magnificent Yankee, becoming the first married couple to win the award for playing a married couple. Fontanne narrated the classic 1960 television production of Peter Pan starring Mary Martin, and received a second Emmy nomination for playing Grand Duchess Marie in the Hallmark Hall of Fame telecast of Anastasia in 1967, 2 of the few rare productions in which she appeared without her husband. The Lunts also starred in several radio dramas in the 1940s, notably on the Theatre Guild program. Many of these broadcasts still survive. On the 5th of May 1958, the former Globe Theatre, at Broadway and 46th Street, originally opened in 1910 and later turned into a motion picture venue after the stock market crash of 1929, was reopened after a massive gut renovation and renamed the Lunt-Fontanne Theatre. On that day the Lunts opened their new house with The Visit by Durran Matt. After 189 performances, The Visit would be their last appearance on Broadway. 20 years later, on the 5th of May 1978, Lynn Fontanne, aged 90, was honored at the Lunt-Fontanne Theatre, during a revival performance of Hello, Dolly, by its star Carol Channing. A reminiscence of that evening, An Evening with Lynn Fontanne, was published online by Martha of Hart, a former protégée of Miss Fontanne. In 1964, Lunt and Fontanne were presented with the Presidential Medal of Freedom by United States President Lyndon Johnson. Like Alfred Lunt, Lynn Fontanne is a member of the American Theatre Hall of Fame. Fontanne was also a Kennedy Center honoree in 1980. Some of her costumes are curated in the Milwaukee, Wisconsin, Mount Mary University Historic Costume Collection. Personal life. Fontanne married Alfred Lunt in 1922. The union was childless. The couple lived for many years at 10 Chimneys, in Genesee Depot, Waukesha County, Wisconsin. They were married for 55 years and were inseparable both on and off the stage. Fontanne went to great lengths to avoid divulging her true age. Her husband reportedly died believing she was 5 years younger than he. She was, in fact, 5 years older, but continued to deny, long after Lunt's death, that she was born in 1887. The Social Security Death Index reports her birth as the 6th of December 1893. Pronunciation of surname. Asked once how to pronounce her surname, she told the Literary Digest she preferred the French way. But, if the French is too difficult for American consumption, both syllables should be equally accented, and the ear should be more or less broad. Fontanne. Death. Lynn Fontanne died in 1983, aged 95, from pneumonia, at 10 Chimneys, in Genesee Depot, and was interred next to her husband at Forest Home Cemetery in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Selected Broadway appearances. Mr. Preedy and the Countess. Happiness. Dulcie. The Guardsman. Arms and the Man. Pygmalion. The Brothers Karamazov. Strange Interlude. Elizabeth the Queen. Meteor. Design for Living. The Taming of the Shrew. Idiot's Delight. Amphitryon 38. The Seagull. There Shall Be No Night. Candle in the Wind. The Pirate. O Mistress Mine. I Know My Love. Quadrille. The Great Sebastians. The Visit. Radio performances. Lunt and Fontanne made multiple performances on the 1940s and 50s radio anthology series Theatre Guild on the Air. These programs are hour-long adaptations of famous plays. The couple performed together 8 times on the program, and each appeared 3 times without the other. Recordings of most of these episodes still exist unless noted. The Guardsman, the 30th of September 1945, Alfred Lunt, Lynn Fontanne. Elizabeth the Queen, the 2nd of December 1945, Lunt, Fontanne. Strange Interlude, the 31st of March 46, Fontanne. Walter Abel, Alfred Shirley. Strange Interlude, the 7th of April 1946, Fontanne. Abel, Shirley. Call It a Day, the 2nd of June 1946, Lunt, Fontanne. The Great Adventure, the 5th of January 1947, Lunt, Fontanne. Oh, Mistress Mine, the 9th of January 1949, Lunt, Fontanne. The Great Adventure, the 20th of November 1949, Lunt, Fontanne. There Shall Be No Night, the 24th of September 1950, Lunt, Fontanne. Pygmalion, the 21st of October 1951, Lunt, Fontanne. The Old Lady Shows Her Medals, the 3rd of February 1952, Fontanne.